Today we are going to talk on two topics. One, we are going to talk about micro presentation. That will be the second part. In the first part, we are going to talk about GDs. Have you heard the word GD? What do you mean by a GD? Group discussion. Learning goals of this session. Part 1, I am going to talk to you about GD and the concepts. Part 2, I am going to talk to you about the psychologist's perspective. When you are appearing in a GD, there is a person who is a moderator, who is sitting on one corner and is observing the entire group. He, by default, is a psychologist who tries to understand what sort of a person you are and what sort of team skills you carry. Then I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions as far as GD is concerned. Understanding GD. In this we are going to talk about four things. We are going to talk about GD and its purpose, why it is conducted. We are going to talk about types of GDs, what are the elements within a GD, and what are the parameters of evaluation in a GD. Let's start with identifying what's a GD. As rightly said, GD is a discussion of a topic by a group of people where they exchange thoughts and ideas. Participation may vary from 8 to 15 candidates. Topic or a situation may be given. And generally 8 to 15 minutes are given. And it's an important element of any selection process. Now, what happens in an aptitude exam? In an aptitude exam, your IQ, intelligence quotient, or aptitude is tested on general aptitude grounds. And that would involve basic mathematical skills, basic language skills, basic problem solving skills, and maybe I want to understand that do you carry sufficient amount of general awareness? Right? That generally consists the first round of the selection process. And in that, I eliminate people who are below a certain level of aptitude. And I invite students or people or candidates who are above a certain level of aptitude. Now, I want to give them a chance, again on a common platform, to give their competitive advantage or show their competitive advantage. So the first thing after an aptitude exam which you are being tested upon is your group skills, or that is the skills or the way you behave when you are in a part of a group. Third thing beyond that would be interview, where after I have tested that you behave right with a particular group or within a group, I invite you for a one-on-one interaction where I try to learn and understand more about you. So this again may or may not be an elimination round. GD is conducted which helps evaluate or it helps the observer or the psychologist or the HR personnel to form opinion about a large number of candidates in a short period of time on a common platform. Now the other day, if you remember, I was talking about if you have to interview, let us say, 100 people. A good average interview would require around 30 minutes. A good interview. Or maybe, let's say 20 minutes. 100 people, 20 minutes into 100. 2000 minutes. Amounts to how many hours? 33 plus hours. On an average, one person can work for how many hours a day? 8. How much time do you require to conduct an interview for 100 people? Maybe 4-5 days. Which is humanly impossible. So I want that I should be inviting again a second level of selected candidates who have shown sufficient performance in a group discussion. So if I invite you after a group discussion, if I do not invite you for a personal interview, you cannot come back to me and say, I was not given a common platform to perform, or you were biased. Same what happens in an aptitude exam. Do you agree? Aptitude exam you can't say, no? मेरे को आपने difficult exam दिया, उसको आपने easy दिया. Can you say that? No, you can't say that. Right? It also helps the observer to assess critical interpersonal skills. Now, do you realize that in today's time, nobody can work alone, nobody can work as a loner? Yes, no? Everywhere you work in a team, everywhere you work in a group. So I want to understand how good you are at interpersonal skills. How good is your team membership, leadership, and ability to influence. Further, which is not possible through an aptitude test or even a personal interview. Very simple. Three things. First is your intelligence, aptitude. Second is your group skills, interpersonal skills. Third is your personal interview, which gives me your personal skills. Let us understand the types of GD. The first type of GD is something which is known as a structured GD. We call it structured default GD. 90% of the times, this is the GD which you will encounter. What is there inside the GD? A topic is given and you are given a certain time to talk on that topic, discuss on that topic. No leader is appointed, no, there may not be anything else except the topic. Brief may not include anything else, and 80-90% of the occasions, this is the type of GD which you encounter. Second type of GD is something which we call as an unstructured GD. Basically, when I am giving you a topic, I am giving you a guideline to talk on. But if I do not give you a topic and ask you to discuss, there is more amount of unstructuredness which is put into the entire process of understanding the participants. Let the topic itself be choose a topic. Have I made it more difficult? The discussion? Yes, no? Or I tell you, choose a group leader amongst yourself. Or I give you 4-5 things. I say, let us say there are 8 people in this group which we are putting on to discussion. I want you to choose one owner of a company. We are wanting to form a company. One of you need to take up the task of the owner of the company. Second person should be the president. Third person should be vice president. Fourth person should be senior manager. Fifth person should be the manager. Sixth person has to be supervisor or assistant manager. Seventh person has to be supervisor, and eighth person has to be the ground floor worker or a blue collared worker. 8 people, 8 roles. I ask you to define a role to each person. Very difficult task. Yes, no? On what basis you will assign a role to a person? How, if somebody says that I want to be the owner, rest 7 will say hello? On what basis? So what I have done is, I have introduced more unstructuredness into the entire process. This particular thing which I shared with you can also be termed as a game or a group exercise. Right? And third type are the special GDs, wherein I can be given a particular case study. Case study, a small case may be given to you, and I may be asked, or you may be asked to find out solution to this particular problem in a case, which is a situation. Or I can also ask a role play to be done, where I say that I ask one of the person to go to each 7 remaining candidates and sell a comb. And I give this chance to each one and try understanding and analyzing that who behaves in what fashion in a group of people. That is also analysis. These are the types of GDs. how or what are the things which are evaluated in a group discussion? First thing is the content. Content is what you speak, the matter, the subject matter which you talk on. Second thing is the process. That means how you speak. When you speak, why you speak. There are people, you might have seen, there are people, whom when you start talking, they don't let you talk. Before you give across a word, they will cut short you and start talking themselves. बात ही नहीं करने देते. They don't let you speak itself. They want to assess these things, that how you speak, when you speak, that forms a part of what you call the process. Both of them will be weighted 50-50. Right? Then, when we talk about quality of content, there are three things in the content. First thing is the quality of content, which will be 50%, and the process can further be divided into different areas, which will be weighted 25% each. First will be the behavioral and the personality skills. The way you sit, the way you present, the way you give chance to others, the way you take chance from others. That is all behavioral process. And second is the communication skills. When to louden your voice, when to bring your voice down, when to slow down the pace of talk, and when to put your thought right straight with a heavy weight. This is voice modulation, right? That is your communication skill. Now let us talk about quality of content, which contains around 50% weightage. First is the comprehension of the core idea. Now I am giving you a topic. Tell me whether both the given topics mean same. Topic 1.